Góðan daginn. My name is Alessa. I am in Iceland at the moment, working here. I studied sculpting for 5 years and I finished in 2015. And then I started studying culture and media studies. And I finished that in 2019 with a master. Well, I do two projects at the moment. One is an artistic scientific research project about the melting ice in Iceland, especially about the glaciers here. It's called Icebergs Reproducing Nature. And the other one is about farming in Iceland. Due to the current situation, I cannot really develop the farming project, but I am developing the other project with the icebergs. So about water. The glaciers are like a storage of this water. And I work on the glacier lagoon at the moment, and we can see the change every day. So for people, like when I was in Germany, it's not so present, this topic. We know about climate change, of course, but it's still far away. We don't see it happen every day. The only thing that I realized during the last years was that the summers get really super warm in Germany. And also today, the weather outside here in Iceland is super warm. And of course, that leads to faster melting of the ice. I was traveling around Iceland and I was just fascinated. And then I decided to come back with a friend who's a professor at the university in Reutlingen, which is a German city. Jochen Orso is his name. And we're doing this project together since last year. He's like a working partner for me because I'm coming up with the ideas and he's like the technical expert. And then this goes really good together. And he has this vehicle to go to the highlands, and with this vehicle we were able to access places where you usually cannot approach easily. And we scanned also 4 icebergs of a glacier lagoon. The glacier we discovered the most, the Sólheimajökull, what means the glacier where the sun is appearing. It's easy to approach and to access, and also it's fascinating because there's a lot of ash and soil included in the icebergs. So they have really fascinating colors. They are black and they can be white and they are also blue, so they really look fantastic. And we had a lot of time there to do the project, which was important. And we gave this data of these scanned icebergs to a computer program to rebuild the shape of the icebergs. And then we 3D printed them again. So we had like little replicates of these huge icebergs, and of course the 3D prints are really small, so they're just like a memory to these icebergs. And of course we caught them only in that specific moment. They can look different in 5 minutes because they melt and then they turn around and then they look completely different. So it was just that moment we caught. The project has an eco-political agenda because in the glacier it was a forest before, and we found some wood in the glacier because it grew a lot and then it retreated again. And like it's a storage of knowledge, this glacier. And you can learn a lot about the Earth and what was going on Earth in that frozen water, actually. So you can find out the concentration of the air or of the water, or what has been there before. Maybe you might even find people in there. That can happen. So it's like a storage of Earth data. And also in Icelandic glaciers, there are often layers of ash coming from volcanic eruptions enclosed in the ice. Scientists can go there and extract some of the ash and find out from which eruption the ash came. And that's spectacular and really valuable. Yeah. We will continue this project in August, September this year. So we will scan more icebergs, maybe on different lagoons. If the access is easy to a glacier lagoon, and if we are allowed to fly there with a drone, this is also like an aspect. It depends. Like we don't want to go into too far in the nature, and we don't want to destroy anything. We also like enlarged the project because we were joking a little bit about like little ice cubes you can have in your drink when you have, for example, an opening or vernissage or something. And then you have like maybe these small icebergs in your glass, and you know, it's a little bit decadent, but that's the idea behind it, that we want to make people more sensitive to that topic with this kind of approach. The project water is really important to me because, as I mentioned, I regard glaciers as storages of knowledge, and that is very important. And I think we can learn a lot of them, and they are way older than we are as humans. So they can be useful for research, and I think this is like something we should consider or like protect. Iceland is called the island of fire and ice, and at the moment it's really exciting here because we have the Grímsvötn, which is a volcano in the, what is it, southwest, and Iceland is expected to erupt maybe in autumn, so and we have like earthquakes in the north, and so there's a lot going on at the moment under the surface of the earth. It's also really interesting because you have this fire underneath the surface, and then it's covered by ice shields, for example this huge glacier Vatnajökull, and it's like this balance between fire and ice, because the volcanic eruptions happen maybe not that often because of this pressure of the glacier ice. In the ice is also volcanic ash included, like frozen in there. So the icebergs are also showing like hints from former fireworks, like volcanic eruptions. I wish all participants and also the staff of Aboagora a really nice time, and I so wish that I could be a part, like really present at site, and I wish that I can do that next year again. And I hope to see you. Have fun.